Good morning, Technosphere. And it's really not morning. I've been up for hours and I've done fuck all. And so I'm going to briefly, before I get out of the bath, which I've been in far too long, discuss the development of our parliamentary system, because I realised that before I familiarised myself with the history of the Labour movement, I needed to contextualise that. And obviously the Labour movement started in response to something, and the something that it started in response to was the status quo that had been going on for a very long time. So the last time I did this, it might have been yesterday, I found out that the earliest seedlings of parliamentariness were Anglo-Saxon 8th century stuff, and they had a thing called a witan, which was people picked by the king who owned lands to run the show and make rules, and they picked lesser persons to look after the shires and have little meetings called moot. And this developed into a great council that eventually developed into the parliamentary system, but we'll do the details of that later. The Conservative Party was formed in 1830 something, and I don't know why. I'll find out about that in a bit. And the Liberal Party was formed after them, but still in 18 something. And then the Labour Party didn't get formed till 1900, so that was a long gap. And I think, but I'm not sure about this, that depressingly, the formation of the Labour Party was the first attempt to represent ordinary people in this country, perhaps, because before that there was a bit of philanthropy going on, and there were always lots of poor. There's been lots of poor, like, forever. And it's fairly recent history that poor humans have, like, even been regarded as humans, isn't it? I mean, the serfs that were run by the witans and the moots, I think they were, like, actually legally the property of the persons that owned the land they lived on. I'm not sure about that, but it looks to me from my paltry research that the reason that the Labour movement is not moving is because the system in which it is trying to operate was set up in order to make sure that the peasants never got a voice. Just saying. Opinions on a postcard, please.